We're starting just a little bit late with some technical difficulties. We apologize. So, let's see. Going. All right, you should be seeing the screen now, so I'll get started. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. I apologize. Let's just jump into the briefing since I've got it loaded here on the screen. So our high points, we're looking good. We only got a few items to worry about here in the short term, the next 24 hours. After that, we should be doing well. We had we had a couple rounds of rain this week, if you remember, especially Monday. We had some heavy rain. I'll be showing a little bit of information about that, and that has caused some of the river levels to rise. The rain overnight last night was pretty heavy, especially across east central and parts of middle Georgia. Luckily, that was confined to areas east of Atlanta. Otherwise, we would have had more flooding in the Atlanta area. We still have to watch some of the rain, though, that fell earlier this week because that's still going to be causing some rivers to run up pretty high in the next few days. Freezing temperatures are the main concern here in the next 24 hours, especially tonight. Some of the coldest temperatures we've seen. We had one other night with colder temperatures than we're expecting tonight, but that should be very similar, and it may spread further south than that last event, if you remember. With the freezing temperatures and the heavy rain, unfortunately, we've learned the hard way, especially in the Atlanta area. When you have heavy rainfall, sometimes even with windy conditions, some of that rainfall and the water that's on the ground can seep onto the roads the next morning. So even though the precipitation's ended, it moved out this morning, early this morning, in fact. You still can have a potential for black ice, even though there's no precipitation at all. So I'll be showing you a little bit of information about that. And then, like I mentioned, once we get over this, the next 6 days after that look pretty good. No precipitation expected. So here's what the rainfall looked like last night, overnight. Pretty widespread amounts of 1 to 2 inches. So it wasn't, light by any means. We had over an inch in the Atlanta area, about 1.5 inches. When the areas of that darker yellow color, kind of light brown color, that's over 2 inches. And you notice a little stripe of heavy rain there. I think that was 1 or 2 training thunderstorms that moved up across parts of eastern and middle Georgia, east of Macon. That stripe of rain, we actually saw some amounts over 4 inches. So pretty impressive rainfall. We're thankful that didn't occur over a larger area of that stripe. And pay attention, I noticed here, especially in yellow, any of those areas in yellow and orange and those darker colors, any of those areas where we're expecting freezing temperatures, please be careful with the potential for black ice, and I'll elaborate that here in a minute. So again, with the rainfall that we received combined, so this is the storm total rainfall Monday through Thursday today, we had over 4 to 5 inches in a lot of areas. Some places were close to 6. We could probably make a table here and send that out of our office later today if if people are interested in that. But impressive rainfall, and we were thankful we had that break in the rain, or at least in the break in the heavy rain, between the rounds of precip on Monday and Wednesday. And what did that cause? We've still got problems with flooding. You notice the good news is in the Atlanta area, those green circles and squares and diamonds, those are all good news because that's where we're not observing any flooding. Some of those areas in northwest Georgia are creeks and streams, but also some reservoirs that are running up pretty high. So some of that reservoir level may be just high water on the reservoirs. But the creeks nearby are also observing some minor flooding. That's what the brown color means. And you notice 1 or 2 spots there in middle and eastern Georgia, especially near Macon. So that is the Oconee River, and we're probably going to be seeing flooding levels continue for some time. And if you want more information, this is a great website that I've captured that image you see on the screen. Just go to that image, or if you're looking at the recording, just try to enter that. We'll try to provide that link in the YouTube comment sections when we post the recording. So temperatures tonight, this is what we're calling for. This is the latest lows. I think we may have dropped this just a degree or two. I have an image I could show you. It is about a ½ degree to a degree lower than what you're seeing on the screen. We're expecting temperatures around 30 in the Atlanta metro area. When you get up into North Georgia, especially in the valley areas, Blairsville, we're looking at a hard freeze. The temperatures around 26 or 27. The temperatures in middle Georgia, again, we've lowered the temperatures in there a little bit more than what's shown on this image. We just updated the forecast. So temperatures there will be very close, if not below freezing, even in Dublin, Macon, Columbus as well. So with that, we've issued a freeze warning. This is probably going out soon for those areas further south, this is what's about to be issued if it's not issued already. It does include our entire coverage area here in Peachtree City Weather Service area. So it goes all the way down to areas south and east of Macon. So for those areas in that part of the state, this is probably your first freeze event. So if you have any residents or communities who are concerned about agriculture or even just household plants and things that are sensitive to the cold, you might want to let them know about this freeze warning. There's some areas, if you see a map on the screen that looks kind of confusing on television, like this image, and you see why isn't there any freeze warnings out for, say, northern Alabama or northeast Georgia or upstate South Carolina, that's because they've ended their growing season. So we're going to be going through that here over the next week or two as our growing season ends. It ends officially on November 20th. But until then, we might have one more freeze warning or so. And sometimes we extend that freeze warning date, that cutoff of the growing season past the 20th. So just check in with us and look at our social media posts and so forth for more information about the growing season. Usually we end that on the 20th, like I said, but sometimes we can extend that if we think the agricultural community is still has seen some warm temperatures. There's still things growing that need to be protected in case of a freeze. So black ice, I don't really have a good graphic. I struggled with how would I communicate this on a graphic. Black ice, as you know, comes in different shapes, and the terms mean a couple different things to people, but the black ice we're referring to in this case is when water that's already on the road, the rain has ended, but it could refreeze with freezing temperatures. This is, we've seen this a few times. It's made the news, especially in the Atlanta area. I know morning commuters can be affected if something like this is not in the forecast, so we've been more vigilant about letting people know about this. We're likely going to be issuing some kind of a statement, probably a special weather statement later today or tonight about the potential. Is based on the forecast and from discussions we've had so far today, it does look like anywhere on the map that you see in purple could experience black ice conditions. It's not a done deal, say in middle Georgia, so forth, where the freezing temperatures will be more isolated and they probably won't last as long. But in areas like Atlanta and further north, the freezing temperatures are going to last a little longer. When you have a light wind, it's actually more conducive to black ice. You can get cooler temperatures over a slightly deeper layer, last a little bit longer. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on this to pay attention. If you have a policy in your area to treat roads, you might want to get that started. And like I mentioned at the start of the briefing, the rest of the week looks really good. Once we get over this, some cold temperatures and the possibility for black ice, we get the rivers to come down, we're looking at some pretty nice weather. That's definitely seasonable temperatures. If anything, it might be slightly below normal temperatures, something we haven't seen in a while with nice sunny skies, low temperatures in the 30s, maybe some low 40s in middle Georgia. This example I'm showing you on the screen just happens to be for the Atlanta metro area and Peachtree City and South Metro. But if you enter your zip code into our website, this is just one example. If you go to any weather.gov site, including ours, weather.gov/Atlanta, just look in the upper left. You can enter your city and state or a zip code is the easiest way to do that for me. And you'll get a forecast just like that available, in this friendly format or even an hourly weather graph. So with that, I'll wrap up here. It's basically what I just showed you earlier. Our main concern was that we're going to have some freezing temperatures tonight and what that might do as far as freezing for sensitive plants, but also for the potential for black ice. That could include, that could occur anywhere across north and central Georgia, but more so in the north. That does include the Atlanta metro area. Could see some patchy black ice tomorrow morning. And especially in areas where we had the heavy rainfall. We had quite a bit of rainfall, so that water just doesn't instantly evaporate. So this is our experience of that. Just want to let you know about the potential. And once we get through that, the rest of the forecast looks good. So with that, I'll wrap things up. I'm going to turn off the recording.